athletic program can be a daunting task. Sand volleyball, the newest sport added to the University of New Mexico, now gives UNM 20 full-fledged athletic programs. Jeff Nelson, head coach of both indoor and outdoor volleyball, faced difficulty with very little funds to begin the inaugural season.
Basically, it cost us about $5,000, and the reason being is, you're just going to rent a place, and then we started off with students that a lot of our indoor students play sand volleyball, so you're really not spending anything on scholarships. So far we have not spent any money on scholarships, and we're going to phase this in. So it was fairly an inexpensive startup.
Despite minimal funds, the Lobos played one of the hardest schedules in the nation. UNM kept to the local Southwest region where some of the country's strongest teams are located.
We just challenged them with an absolutely brutal schedule. I mean, nobody in their right mind would schedule what we scheduled, but we did it because we wanted to shorten the gap between us and the better programs really quickly. And I think we've done that even within the season, because as we've gone along, our results with better programs have gotten closer all year, and we're scoring points against the best programs in the country. And so it's exciting.
Co-head coach Lisa Beauchesne said by getting the Lobos to face such rugged opponents, the learning gap closed by the end of the season and will only help the squad next year.
Well, I mean, it was tough playing all the Arizona teams. They're all very talented. They've all had a lot of experience, and they're recruiting experienced players. And so for us, it was training our inexperienced players to gain more experience. And so I think, next year, it won't be a learning curve. They'll know what to expect going into the sand competition.
The Lobos played a majority of their games on the road because UNM has not yet built sand courts for the team. However, the university was able to reach an agreement with stone-faced courts before the year began. The team practiced and played their home games at this facility.
Obviously, to build courts, that's a lot more expensive. That'll be one of the things we'll look in the future to do. But for now, we're pretty lucky. We've been able to rent courts. They're very nice. So, renting for hardly anything versus building something that's $300,000, $400,000 possibly, we've been very fortunate to kind of find a place to play.
The Stoneface facility doesn't allow for a ton of viewing outside of it compared to the other places that we've been to this season. So, the people, the fans that did come and support us were familiar faces, and we were happy that they were able to come and support us. But we're very happy with the turnout.
Even though UNM didn't have its own official home courts, the focus of the season revolved around the players' ability to transition from the hard court to the sand.
I mean, if you're a really experienced indoor player and you're a very talented indoor player and then you go to the sand, it can be very frustrating because there's a giant learning curve. And so for someone like Hannah, who's a successful student athlete and successful volleyball player indoor, it definitely was challenging.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't very enthused about it, but the more that I got to play, I started to gain my liking for it, and I enjoyed it by the end of the year. It was different. We got a tan, so that's a plus.
I think, in the beginning, our girls were not interested in turning around and running a ball down, and because somebody was normally behind them indoor, and so they had to get used to playing in at least half of the court, and so that was the biggest transition.
Nelson appointed senior Ashley Newman to team captain at the beginning of the season. Newman has played under Nelson for indoor, but was unable to play the past 2 years after tearing her left ACL.
I think she's managed the group well. I think the group has grown, and I'm really glad that she came back for one season to do that, because I think she's gotten a lot out of it. And I already know that she's committed to playing a bunch of summer tournaments, and so I know she's really enjoyed herself.
Yeah, I was really excited when you asked me to be the captain too, because I do get to say I was captain of the very first sand volleyball team. This season was really challenging because we only played top 20 teams, so our schedule is extremely difficult, but I think because of that, we're going to be a better team in the future.
This season was the first of a 5-year plan for UNM's sand volleyball program. After starting off the season 1-1, the Lobos went on a 10-game losing streak, but UNM was able to finish on a high note by sweeping rival Colorado State twice.
I'm not someone who likes losing, but I think we've done it right, and I think we're going to be better for it in the long run. It's tough to lose a lot at first, but when you see yourself getting better every week and you see the things happening around it and there being more acknowledgement that we have it, that we have this program, the things that are going on, it makes it a lot easier. And I don't think our players are down at all about losing. I think they know they're getting better, and I think all of them are on board to be back and be even better next year.
This year was just kind of getting the feel for the ball, learning how to shot different areas and just kind of read different defenses, and same for the defenders, just kind of knowing hitters' tendencies and knowing that they have to be stopped and then reading and such. But now when we go in next year, we have a backbone to it, and then we know what we struggled with this season and what we'll have to practice next season.
In anticipation for the NCAA's newest sport, UNM added sand volleyball to attract more potential recruits. The recruits will not only help their sand program, but entice indoor players as well.
It's definitely going to change our recruiting because our indoor team is going to become much more of a ball control team, I think. We've sort of been known as a very physical team indoor, a team that jumps really high and has some supporting members of with ball control, but not rounded ball control. So it's definitely going to change our indoor team.
The Lobos hope to encourage other teams in the Mountain West to develop a sand program. One day, UNM would like to engage in conference play like it does in the other sports.
It's cool to be one of the first, I think, 50 teams to have a sand program. So yeah, it seems like a lot of the rest of the country is actually following not just our conference, but a lot of other schools.